A while back, trying to get over depression, I stumbled upon this book, The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. It was my first real window into the world of meditation, the profound effects the practice could have on your life. It taught me about this thing called the inner voice, which is basically the core message of the book, that says that each of us have this inner voice inside of our heads that tells us we're not good enough, or we're ugly, or we're stupid, or whatever. And the only way to reach real happiness is by escaping that voice. Now, I'm not sure if the book explicitly mentions it, but the way I found to achieve this sort of inner stillness was through meditation. So every day I'd sit for progressively longer periods of time until I was sitting there for hours every day, or basically just until my legs just wouldn't work anymore. And this was so powerful. At some point I finally achieved this sort of total inner stillness. For a second I glimpsed complete silence inside my brain where the voice just wasn't talking at all. So I'd just be fully immersed in the universe and in everything going on around me, and that was so powerful that it kind of pushed me to keep going and keep searching for that kind of silence, which I saw to be this kind of enlightenment. So what actually happened as a result of that? I mean, to begin with, I had a greater control over my emotions and my mind. So before meditation, I'd always be kind of plunged into these month-long deep emotional periods of depression and whatever, before I could realize that the emotions were just that. They were separate from my brain, and that's kind of what meditation taught me. That's what the Untethered Soul teaches, is that emotions aren't something to be completely engrossed in. They are something that you can just sort of observe. So that sort of was the shift. I started observing my emotions more rather than becoming engrossed in them. So when I felt angry or depressed after that meditation period began, I would be able to rationalize better with the emotions I was feeling. I wouldn't just be pushed away in this sea of mad emotions. I would sort of be able to calmly think about the solutions to the problems. Then the other thing it did was it allowed me to do things that would before have taken me ages to do, because it increased my willpower so much. So things like chores or doing work or reading, or just all these positive changes I wanted to create in my life that I'd never been able to do before. Meditation allowed me to do that because it gave me such a greater control over my mind. So that's basically what meditation did. It freed my mind from emotion, and it freed my mind from this voice that's telling me not to do the things I want to do in my life. Then the second thing I noticed was a kind of increased presence in my life. So by that I mean a presence in the moment. So there's this Buddhist concept of a mental filter. So when you see a pretty thing, or when you're just going through your day-to-day life, you sort of repeat everything you're seeing inside your head through this mental voice. So you'll see a really pretty mountain and you'll say, "Oh my god, that's so pretty." And this kind of it's kind of like an extra filter that you see everything through that dulls the initial experience down. So it's the same as the voice we were talking about before, but it kind of is a running commentary on everything we do and everything we see, which totally destroys the experience of life, because we can never just appreciate things for what they are. We always have to do, there's a quote in a book I like. It says, "Comparisons are odious." It's basically saying that the fact that we compare every single thing in our lives to other things, we say this is so much prettier than that, this is so much better than that, all that does is actually destroy the experience of actually seeing it, of actually experiencing those things. So meditation, it removes that mental filter. It lets you experience the world, it lets you experience the picture in front of you as one big thing. So you're not separating tiny little things out and commenting on each individual one, you're just seeing the entire big picture, and it's so much more kind of just powerful of a world. And the last benefit is one I can't really attest to myself, but it's the sort of, it's the health benefits that meditation provides. So these aren't things I can say I've personally experienced, because I haven't really had issues with them in the past, or they're things that are supposed to be improved in the future, but there's a lot of medical evidence to support just health benefits that meditation brings to your life. So there's the book, The Three Pillars of Zen by Philip Kapleau, or however the hell you say that name. I don't have it on me right now, but anyway. What he basically says in that is there's two forms of meditation. So there's the one that we've been talking about, which is this kind of seeking of the mental benefits of kind of this enlightenment thing. So it's the sort of one where you sit in the lotus position and you just focus on your breath, and you focus on the world around you, and you focus completely on your senses and on not engaging with any of your thoughts. And this is brilliant for the mental benefits, so the lack of depression, the happiness, the lack of anxiety, because it lets you free your mind, and that's the sort of enlightenment we were talking about. But then the other one is the kind of, he calls it the Western version of meditation, which I think is a pretty weird name to give it, but anyway, and it's to sort of focus on the health benefits of meditation. So it's a more simple meditation to do, so it involves counting. Basically, he says you just count your breaths from 1 to 10 on every exhale. So you go 1, then you inhale, then 2, then you inhale, and you do that till 10, and then you start again from 1 and go to 10. And you do that for about 10 minutes, and you just you try as hard as you can to not lose count from 1 to 10, which sounds easy, but actually isn't. And if you do that, this is the kind of, I mean, that's the one that is supposed to be the easiest one to do to get all the same health benefits. So I mean, a quick Google search can inform you better than I can, but the basic health benefits are like a decrease in blood pressure, in dementia, in depression, in anxiety, in pain even. Just all these different things that meditation is proven to do. I think I've read somewhere that meditation is one of the only practices you can do that actually builds brain tissue. So your prefrontal cortex actually grows because of meditation, which is something that no other action can do. So I think meditation, for what it is, which is basically just 10 minutes of your day sat down, or even before bed, just sitting down and actually actively participating in this meditative process, I think for that, there's such a limited payoff for the amount you gain from it. I think it's a total no-brainer to try meditation. But anyway, I am Tom. Thank you for checking out the video. If you're new here, drop a like, drop a subscribe, drop a comment. And if you're old here, thank you for being around. And yeah, goodbye.